All right, boys, HF2 Coil. Now, I'm out here in an area where people used to park to visit this man and woman that lived here years ago. All right, I even come over here as a kid. So we're just out here looking around, you know, to see what we might see here. 29 kilohertz band, multi-frequency. You see that ID? This is a general program, 89 kilohertz. So my ID has come up a little bit there. You see that? 88 mono program. So the ID is not as high. So that would suggest that's a no dig signal. But since the ID did come up somewhat in the 89 kilohertz band, that's probably not foil or can slaw, okay? But it's probably not a pull ring, go ring shaped kind of target. We're gonna dig this. So you get to make different decisions about this. Okay, so that could be a nice find down there, but it's just not go ring shaped. All right, we'll turn the camera off. We're digging. You all see the culprit there, right? So I like that, huh? How about that? We'll see if we can do a few more here. I may go to. It's going to be a while though. I may go down here to this freshwater beach. Play with this thing a little bit and maybe show a few a little video. Let me turn the camera back on here. Notice the style of that square tab. That's a little unusual, ain't it, boys? That's probably an older one there. You see that? You don't see many designed like that. It's got that gizmo right in there. You see that? All right, we got a target here, okay? But this is not one I would probably put a lot of faith in this, all right? But we're still gonna dig it and we're gonna look at it. You see that right there? That used to be where the toilet was here, and I'm right in line with where the back door was to this house. All right? Now, why wouldn't I put a lot of confidence using this machine on this test here to test this target? You notice there, I don't even get the signal. Okay, I get it there. Hear that iron in there? So I would not have a lot of faith in this, but I do get good signal right here. 29 kilohertz band, you see that? Here's the 89. A little rise, not much. Mono program 88. See what it did? Shot way up. You hear that iron in there, okay? So I wouldn't put a lot of faith in this, even though I'm showing this to you, okay? We're gonna dig this though, okay? See? When I rotate around that target, it's cut off. Something's wrong with it, meaning there's something down there, okay? Let me turn this camera off. We're going to dig this. All right, you see what that was, okay? So you see when you're using this, I'm just giving you some tips. You run your machine the way you want to, okay? But certain situations, depending on what you hear with that machine, confidence is lost on trying to check it, in my opinion. All right, we're going to look at this target here. Now this is something like what I seen yesterday that I didn't capture on the camera, okay? You see where I'm at here, 29 kilohertz band. You hear that? You see that meter? That's about best achievable signal right here. So you can use this system here probably to even not necessarily to look for a go ring shaped target, but watch what happens here. So you hear that? That don't sound too bad, does it? 89 kilohertz band, listen to it. And look at the ID, what happened to it. Single frequency. See that? So that would suggest to me that's a terrible target to dig, okay? That's probably, I don't know, it's some bullshit metal down there or something. Now I'm running the same speed on all these programs, okay? 2. I think, well, I may be running the mono program. I'm running the mono program at 1.5, but you see the ID drop there, okay? Nothing looked the same, did it? Once I come off of 29, everything went south. That's what I seen here the other day, okay? And I didn't get it on video. We're going to dig this. All right, you see what it is, right? Part of a horseshoe, okay? Somebody made a comment the other day that they had, I think this is what they had seen trying this. They seen my video and they went out in their yard and they started playing with it. That was one of the attributes they seen with this machine. Now remember, you can run this machine in 53 kilohertz. I could be doing that out here if I wanted to. Okay. But if you didn't get a signal in 29 that you were hearing in 53, you know, well, that could be a target that's more masked. In this case here, though, we got it with the lower frequency, multi-frequency, did we? Just sharing data, boys. That's all I could do. All right, we got another target here, boys. Get back over here in this 29 kilohertz band. That's what I found it with. You see that meter? Now this is audio response level 1, reactivity 2. You see that? Toggle to the 89. Just a slight rise. Toggle to the 88.3. So I don't see anything there telling me that is a pull ring, ring-shaped target. We're going to dig it. Now, I am seeing some data in that window that suggests that's not foil or possibly can slaw though, okay? So we're gonna dig. All right, boys, watch this, okay? This might be very telling here, all right? I know what this is already. I'm not gonna bullshit you, all right? Let me see if I can find it here. Where have I put the little plug-a-roo here? Let me turn this camera off here and let me find this thing again. All right, I got it here, I think. Now, I done dug this. I actually could put it back just about like it was. It's a pull beaver tail with a pull ring hook to it. It's an old one, okay? It ain't no damn new one. On the left side is where the actual pull ring part is. The right side, the beaver tail extends out from it. So the beaver tail is not under the pull ring part, okay? Here's 29 kilohertz. So we've got 76, 77. Here's 89 kilohertz. You see that rise? Coming from the left side, we see that rise. You see that? Okay, 88.3 kilohertz. And let me change to make this a better test. Speed 2. So the mono program there is not doing like the multi-frequency, okay? Now we're going to come over here. Now the beaver tail is in line with the pull ring. We got about the same ID we got sweeping the other way with 29 kilohertz bay, and here's the 89. We get a little more rise. Mono program. Mono program is not really giving us any information there. It's not rising, okay? So let me turn this camera off. I'm going to flip this plug and I'll show you how this baby is in the ground, and then we're going to remove the beaver tail and put it back down there. Okay. There it is, except I think I told you wrong since I've inverted it. See it? I just flipped the plug so the beaver tail was on the left, but still the 89 kilohertz band was coming up a little bit, okay? And here's the orientation. You see it, right? So what we're going to do, we'll set the camera down. I'm going to take that beaver tail off of that. We're going to put this part back in the ground and see what we see. Okay, camera back on. It's back in there at more or less equivalent depth. I removed the beaver tail. Now that thing is not exactly round, okay, but it is an enclosure, okay? 29 kilohertz band now. 78, 79, 89 kilohertz band. Oh shit, you see that? Mono program. So you see it comes up, huh? So this tells me some beaver tail. Now the beaver tail that I showed the other day in the video, the beaver tail was doubled under the pull ring. In this case here, it wasn't, okay? So using this system here, there's some beaver tail still attached. You may not dig, but you notice what happens when that's down there with just the pull ring part. We'll even sweep from over here. 78, 89 kilohertz band. You see that. Mono program. So that right there, I would definitely dig, thinking I could be over a go ring. Let me turn the camera off. I'll get that back out there and let you have a closer look at it. Okay, again, here is the beaver tail. Now the beaver tail was folded up on the very end of that beaver tail. Okay, here is the, now when I was sweeping it, it was in this configuration. It would have been that direction. That's an old one there, boys, because it's not round, okay? Again, I believe you can see what this can do for you, okay? Just verification, boys. Is it a perfect system? Well, I don't believe there's anything perfect when it comes to metal detecting. All right, we may do a little more later today. Stay tuned.